Hi guys, welcome to the digital studio. My name is Ellen and we are going to be working through a low lunge variation sequence as well as we'll work through the variations of the different low lunges and really working on our pelvis to really find the punch of our feet to rise up and find our lungs. But then we're also going to work through our sun salutation, a Katonah sun salutation, to really find the fluency of our hip joints and our pelvis. So all you need for today is optional a block or two blocks just to help finding some props. If you don't have those at home, you could always maybe use a really thick book or just don't use them at all. So we're going to get started in a downward facing dog. So to measure that out, come forward to your hands and your knees. Just swivel both hands in to slightly touch, and that will give you shoulder width distance. And then swivel the fingertips back to face the front, plug down through the center of your palms, organize your knees underneath your hips, tuck the back toes and press through the balls of your feet as you send your hips up, downward facing dog. If you need here to take a moment to just pedal out through your heels, noticing how the ankle joints feel, how the hip sockets feel, and then find the integrity of your dog as you plug your lungs onto your thighs, tilt your pubic bone forward and spread the sitting bones behind you. Finding that fold at your hip crease. And then look forward as you lunge your right leg through to a right angle. Organize the right heel underneath your right knee and just bring the fingertips out nice and wide. So here we want to work in our joint space. So if our right foot is too far in front, we're just going to load up the hamstring. And if it's again too acute, we're just going to load up the calf muscle and the quad. So if we organize the heel underneath our kneecaps, we access our right hip joint. Bring the fingertips out nice and wide, plug your armpit in, and even just lift that right arm and start to flush your armpit by massaging it onto your kneecap. And that's just going to activate or flush or drain any excess in your lymphatic system. We have a lot of lymph nodes under there. And take a moment or two here, and then just bring the fingertips back down and plug them in. And here you might see if I come back here, I'm rounding my lower spine and rounding my upper back. So rather being on the left kneecap, roll over onto that left thigh bone, tilt your pubic bone forward. Find your belly button rise and your sternum rise. So you have a back bend in your upper back. And then here, plug down through your left pinky toe, close down the eyes for a moment, and then travel onto the top of your back foot and plug it into the earth. Find your left ankle joint and plug it in, your left shin, the center of your left kneecap, and feel your left hip pull forward, right hip pull back. And again, try to tilt that pubic bone forward, spread the sitting bones slightly behind you, and then just find a cross reference here with your hip joints. So from the front of your left hip, draw a line to your right sitting bone. And from the front of your right hip, draw a line to your left sitting bone. And just gently, using your imagination, pull those 4 points apart. And then travel the brain into that right foot. Find your the big toe and draw a line to the outer edge of your right heel. Find the pinky toe and draw a line to the inner edge of your right heel and pull those 4 points apart. And then really press to the ball of your right foot, shoot the arms out in front, hinge at your hips and start to unfold it. Rather than sinking and dumping into your hips and your kidneys, start to lift up as you press through the ball of that right foot. Grab a hold of opposite elbows and just pull your elbows away from your hip crease here. So option one, you can stay here and just work with that back bend in your upper back. If you'd like to use a prop, you can always grab a block here and wedge it between the floor and your left thigh So you've got a boundary here to get you out of your pelvis and up into your lungs. Another nice option is to press into the ball of that right foot, lifting your right heel and finding a little bit more buoyancy in that right hip. And just take 3 more breaths here. Working for the back bend, and when we find a back bend, we're able to fill up our lungs. So really move your lungs forward and up. They attach to the back of the spine, so as soon as we open up the frame, we're able to open up the potential of the front body. So good. When you're ready, lower those down. Tuck the back toe. When you lift the back leg, rather than just hanging back here, lift your hips up in line with your shoulders. Send the right foot back, downward facing dog. Look forward. And then without thinking about it too much, pick up your left foot, lunge it through to the front of your mat. Fingertips come out nice and wide. Organize yourself in your joint space. Left heel underneath your left kneecap. Look forward and just close down the eyes. You might pick up that left palm, start massaging out that left armpit as you drain anything in the excess in that lymphatic system. Do a few more here. And then bring it back into the center, closing the eyes, taking the brain into your back foot. Find your right pinky toe and plug it into the earth. Press the top of your right foot, the top of your ankle, and plug those in. Find the center of your right kneecap, and as you do that, feel your right hip pull forward slightly and your left hip pull back. And as you tilt that pubic bone forward, feel the belly button rise and your sternum, your breastbone right in the center of your chest rise up, and the collarbones pull out to east and west. And it's quite intense to be here, and we want to really work for that fit. So again, when we have our knee and our ankle joint in line, we're able to access the hip. So send that breath as you inhale right into the middle of your pelvis. Send some currency, some heat of the breath down into the pelvis by virtue of your imagination. Feel it expand out to each side on the inhale, and as you exhale, deflate the lungs completely. Then travel the brain into your left foot, find the big toe and draw a line to the outer edge of the heel. And then your pinky toe to the inner edge of the heel, and start to pull those 4 points apart. And then as you press through the ball of your left foot, shoot the arms out in front, hinging or unfolding at your hips, grabbing a hold of the opposite grip of your elbows, and finding that back bend. Again, maybe taking that option with a block. So it gets you out of your pelvis, out of your kidneys and your adrenals, and really able to fill up those lungs. This is when our lungs can fill up, that's when our adrenals can settle, but our kidneys can able to flush properly. The function of our kidneys can work. Take 2 more breaths here. Option, to lift that left heel up, pressing into the ball of that left foot. And once you've had it with that, lowering the fingertips down, removing that the block if you have one. Looking forward, frame the front foot, tuck the back toe, lift your right hip in line, and then send the left foot back, downward facing dog. So good. Pick up your right foot, lunge it through again to the front of your mat. Lower the back knee down. Again, organize your heel underneath your knee, and without thinking about it too much, just organize yourself in your joint space. Do all the things to set up the conditions, then press into the ball of your right foot, hinge at your hips and start to unfold it. This time, interlace your fingers behind your skull, wrap the elbows in, and then lift the elbows up. Find your back bend here. Again, option to come up onto the ball of that right foot, lifting the right heel up. And then if you have that block, we'll be here. And then something really nice is if you've got someone at home that can lend a knee, they can dig your knee into your back and kind of edge your elbows up, and that really helps to find that back bend. Lowering that ankle down if it's lifted, releasing the bind down. So nice. And then here we're just going to find a little bit of a variation. Bring both fingertips onto the inside of that right foot. Swivel the right toes out towards the right, so out towards 2 o'clock. And then just start to walk the fingertips over towards the left. Option 1, you'll stay here, opening up the collarbones if you're staying up high. A nice option is just to flip those wrists. Option 2, come down to those elbows. Keeping the integrity of this spine, look forward, find the back bend in the upper back. Travel the brain into that right foot and cross-reference your big toe to the outer edge of your heel, pinky toe to the inner edge of your heel. Find the plug into the earth. So good. And whether if you're down on the elbows or up on the fingertips, pick up your right palm, place it on the inside of your right knee, and then option to press the knee away. Chin comes to your sternum and lifts directly up so that you find your back bend here. So good. So if you want to stay here, absolutely fine. Otherwise, we can find a bind. So keep swiveling your torso out to the right. Extend the right arm back. Bend the back knee and grab a hold of the outer edge of your left ankle joint. Flex the left foot. Kick the foot away and start to open up that right shoulder, that right lung. Fill it up. If you're on the left hand, you might come up onto the fingertips. That's really nice. If you're down on the elbow, just work to find that sphere of radiance as you find the back bend. So good. Bring it back into the center. Swivel the toes back to face the front. Tuck the back toe, lift your hips up in line with your shoulder, right foot steps back. Amazing. Find the integrity of your dog as if you're coming back to home base. So maybe swivel the foot in to find hip width distance. Plug your lung onto your thighs so you can find your hip joint. Then pick up your left foot, lunge it through and lower the back knee down. Untuck the back toe, find your back bend in the upper back. Pubis, navel, sternum travels forward and up. And then when you're ready, hinging at your hips, start to unfold it. Option to grab your block. So if you don't have a block, just be mindful that you're not dumping into your lower back or dumping into your pelvis. So come out of it a little bit, so that you really come up onto the ball of that left foot. Interlace the fingers, wrap the elbows in, and then lift the elbows up towards the ceiling. 3 breaths here. And rather than just throwing the neck back, Feel as though that you can push your sternum up towards the ceiling. Fill up the lungs. As if the lungs were like two big balloons that you're filling up with breath and rising yourself up. Press into the ball of that left foot a little bit more. So good. Lower the fingertips down onto the inside of that left foot. Last one here, I promise. Left foot swivels out towards the left. Right fingertips, or actually both fingertips, torso out towards the right. Maybe coming up onto the fingertips, or a nice option is to flip those wrists so our lungs can move forward. Option 2, you might come down to those elbows. So good. Work for the back bend here, but here as well, be mindful that that left knee isn't collapsing in, or our left hip. Pull that left knee back in line with the second big toe. Pull your hip back, your left hip back towards 9, and your right hip forward towards 3, as if they were squaring off in a sense of the two headlights on the front of your car. So, option to stay on the elbow, where you might come up onto the fingertips. Left palm comes to the inside of that left knee. Press the knee away, chin comes to the sternum, and the chin lifts up and out from the sternum so that you find that back bend. Option to stay here, or if you like to find the bind, swivel out towards the left, extend the arm, grab a hold of the ball and mitt fit of your ankle joint, flex the foot and kick the foot away so that you really find that left lung. 3 breaths. Again, this can be on the fingertips or down on the elbow. So good. Bringing it back. Swivel the left toe in, tuck the back toe, lift your back knee, back hips, send it back, and then just walk your feet all the way to the front of your mat. Remove any props from your mat, find 2 fists, and then press through the balls of your feet and just slowly roll up all the way to the front. So now we're going to move through a sun salutation. We've done a lot of pelvis work down in our low lunges, so now we're just going to find some fluency with the breath. Each movement is an inhale and exhale, and each movement has an inhale and an exhale, but it's also a folding and unfolding from your hip joint. So we'll move through it slowly, and then we'll just start to speed it up for about 6 to 8 rounds. So when you're ready, inhale for 1, you lift the palms up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, bend the knees, fold forward. Right foot steps back for 2. Lower the back knee down, inhale, rise it up. Exhale, lower the fingertips, left foot steps back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to a plank, then open up the back bend as you come into an upward facing dog. Exhale, send it back, downward facing dog. Right foot steps forward. Lower the back knee, hinge at your hips, unfold. Exhale, lower the fingertips, left foot steps to the front. Fold it in. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale, palms to center. Move through it slowly. Inhale for 1. Exhale, fold it down for 2. Left foot steps back for 3. Lower the back knee, inhale. Exhale for forward, downward facing dog. Right foot steps back, look forward the entire time. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 7, left foot steps forward. Lower the back knee, hinge at your hips. Exhale, right foot steps to the front. Inhale, unfold for 9, and 10 brings it to center. Speeding it up a little bit. Inhale for 1. Exhale, fold it in. Right foot steps back. Inhale. Exhale, lower the fingertips. Left foot steps back. Down dog. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot steps forward. Lower the back knee. Inhale. Exhale to the front of your mat. Inhale through the middle. Exhale to center. 1, rise up. 2 is a fold. Left foot steps back. Exhale, fingertips down, downward facing dog. Inhale, up dog. Move through your joint space. Exhale, down dog. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale to the front. Inhale, rise it up. Exhale to center. 2 more rounds. In and out. Right foot steps back. In. Out. Lower the fingertips. Left foot. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot for 7. 8 is a fold at the front of your mat. 9 is an unfold. And 10 brings it in. 1 more round. In, out. Left foot. In, out. Down dog. In, up dog. Out. Down dog. Left foot. In, out. Front of the mat. In and out. Take a breath in. Exhale, fold it down. Grab a hold of opposite elbows and just take a moment here to hang over. So in our hangs, we want to measure 2 fists between your feet, either grabbing a hold of opposite elbows. You might bring the palms underneath your feet, toes come to your wrist crease. Or you might grab opposite elbows behind your kneecaps. Either way, you plug your lungs onto your thighs, knees into your armpits, and press the balls of your feet into the earth so the sitting bones rise up behind you. And just count yourself 5 expansive breaths here for inhaling through the circuitry of your joints, from your ankles up the backs of your legs, all the way up to your hip sockets. And then as you exhale, descend the breath back down towards the front of your ankles. And after that final round, releasing the palms and just slowly rolling all the way up. So good, guys. Well done. My name is Ellen.